Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tavern Talks podcast for the day of June the 15th, 2022. I am your humble host this week, Nick, and I'm joined by Martin, my friend, my co-host.
Hello.
Hello, Martin.
Hello.
Unfortunately, we are down one Sam today because he is, what's a nice way to put it? Spewing out of both ends. It's violent, it's disgusting,
I didn't think it was that violent.
He's a bit ill, bless him. So we are taking the reins for this week. And there are no socials to go through, so let's just get right into it. We don't have any big news, really. Like nothing groundbreaking, nothing revolutionary. So moving on to what have you been playing and watching? We'll start with you, Martin.
Yeah, so it's been a slow week, but
Yes.
I've managed to watch so far 2 of the Annabelle movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching the final one tonight, which is looking forward to. But yeah, it should be. Compared to the Conjuring, one thing I prided it on was its direction.
Yeah.
It was absolutely fantastic. There's certain movies and certain forms of media where they've never really been able to really get any attention from me. You know, I'm always looking at I feel like it's going to happen, and it does. Okay, sure, and it's very simple.
Yeah.
With The Conjuring, it felt very just constant tension, and it was a good subversion of expectations. You're expecting certain jump scares, and they were just that perfect length of time when they did happen to happen. You know, they really got it down to a T. And these ones, the Annabelle ones, the first 2 I've watched so far,
Yeah.
don't have the same director. The guy who directed The Conjuring was James Wan. Now, he was the producer in the Annabelle movies.
Right.
And they're good, but I don't think they're as good as The Conjuring so far.
I think the thing that's always put me off of I guess you'd call them modern horror movies, is like the reliance on jump scares. In fact, it's
Yes.
not even modern horror movies. It's like horror movies in general. Occasionally, you'll get like the four-leaf clovers of the pack. That's like it's more
They stand above their own.
atmosphere. Yeah, I like atmosphere in my horror movies.
Yes.
Jump scares are just. I mean, it's overplayed to say that they're cheap, but they are cheap.
You really have to earn a jump scare.
Mm.
You have to earn it. They can be good because you want there to be something that happens, but there's too much where it's played off like a jump scare. There won't be anything going on. It'll go a bit it'll be slight noise. It goes quiet. Music picks up and then goes quiet, dead quiet, and then jump scare.
Yeah.
It's the same trope every single time that you see, and it's really shoddy in that way.
Yeah.
Because you're expecting it, and that's all the only time you get scared, and there's no other atmosphere after that. Whereas The Conjuring there was a lot of good atmosphere in them, and with this setting up the Insidious movies and things, was top notch. It was really good, and they had certain parts of us in these Annabelle movies where it was I hated seeing that doll. Oh, that damn doll is going to do something again. I know it is.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as good. It relied a bit too much on the jump scares. It wasn't. They couldn't build that tension as much as The Conjuring did, and that's really what it is.
Does it feel like as they've gone on, they've gone sloppier, I guess?
No, well, the Conjuring, I'm pretty sure, came up after the Annabelle movies. Annabelle Creation is the second one that came out.
Yeah.
That one is the prequel of how Annabelle came about. I kind of preferred the first Annabelle as a movie, but as a horror movie, Annabelle Creation I think was better.
Right.
It did a better job of building the tension. Now we're going to watch Annabelle Comes Home tonight, and I'm going to see how that is. But versus
Didn't even know that was a fucking thing.
They've got
I've heard of Annabelle Creation, but I'd never heard of fucking Annabelle Comes Home.
Yeah, that came out in 2019. I'm looking at it now.
Right.
Insidious came out first. This Insidious 2000 that came out 2010. I don't know why I'm watching it in this order. It's what the person recommended to me, how we're watching them. I think it's because The Conjuring is her favorite movie,
right,
of the horror movies. So we watched that, and that was a really good one. That was absolutely fantastic for that.
you
so far, that's
the
still been my
Star Wars
favorite.
order. You're starting in the
Yeah,
middle, then
pretty
going
much.
to the beginning, then
Because then I'm going to get the sequels, which is the kind of yeah, it's all over the place. But it's yeah, we were watching that and it's really good though. It's yeah, I hadn't found the tension building as good. It was better in creation. I don't know how it comes home will be, but we'll see. We'll find out tonight.
well, hopefully
Uh,
it's good.
aye,
Hopefully it's not a case of them like knowing these movies are gonna make money, so they just can
just
get
flog them out.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
just shovelware at some point.
it's frustrating when that happens. It
Yeah,
really is. You can tell they can start going cheap. They play off like it was like Paranormal Activity. I've never seen the first one, but I've heard how great that is. And how they played it off later with other ones apparently, like trying to mimic the same thing without the original kind of recipe for it.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
hope it's
other than
good
that,
for you.
man, I suppose well, it will be fun. It'll be fun regardless, just hanging out and watching it anyway.
Oh yeah.
But
If it's bad, you just fucking rip on it, don't you?
yeah, so if it's not as good, then there you go. I'll talk about how it's not as good. But yeah, it should be good. Other than that, I haven't played anything this week besides the player choice stuff.
Yeah, which we will get onto in a second,
Yeah.
for sure. I've kind of been in the same boat where I've only really played the player's choice stuff. I played a little bit more Risk of Rain 2, but like
Yeah.
haven't done anything that's worth talking about really that I didn't mention like just last week.
Yeah.
I did play through Resident Evil 2 remake and started to play through Resident Evil 3 remake last night. Like I
Okay.
just finished a run of Resident Evil 2 remake last night.
Yeah. To clarify again, because you've already done it before. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because they released, was it yesterday or the day before? They released a patch for PS5 version, basically, and I believe an Xbox Series S X version, and they have like you can import your save, and they have new trophy lists. So of course, if you import a save that has all the trophies, you get them all again, which is wonderful. Unfortunately, it kind of broke on me, and one of the trophies it didn't give me. So I was like,
Okay.
okay, I'm gonna. It was the trophy where, minor spoilers for Resident Evil 2 Remake. At some point, as Leon, you leave the RPD and you go through a gun shop with Ada Wong, and there's a note that got patched into the gun shop, like towards the release of Resident Evil 3 Remake, and it's basically a note from Jill to Kendo saying some shit, and whenever you read it, you'd get a trophy for it. So for some reason, the game didn't give me that trophy. So I was like, fuck it, let's just do a brand new run. Let's get the infinite SMG and just go through. Why not? They added ray tracing, I got my trophy. Ray tracing mode isn't great. It has a lot of... For the most part, it runs at 60 FPS, which is what the game generally runs at anyway on like a PS4. But the ray tracing, like, it will occasionally drop the FPS. And I say occasionally, it will fairly often drop the FPS.
Ah, damn.
Which,
Okay.
yeah, is not great. There is also an option for like, what do they call it? They call it like high frame rate mode. But for some reason, I think because I'm on the PS5, it doesn't let me enable it. I think that's actually meant for the PS4 version to get it up from 60 FPS to 120. But yeah, unfortunately, the PS5 doesn't allow that. I assume it already pushes for 120, but I only played with the ray tracing mode, so I didn't see how that went. And I didn't notice if Resident Evil 3 Remake had anything similar, but I assume it does, because I'm pretty sure that Resident Evil 7 Biohazard also has a similar thing. All three of those games got the update for PS5. And yeah,
Yeah, and they're all made in the same engine, so you'd think that they'd be
Yeah.
able to enable it.
yeah, exactly.
You don't have to do anything special to the assets to even enable ray tracing.
No,
So it's just a feature you can get in, or at least it is in Unreal Engine. So I don't see why it wouldn't be in the 3 remake.
I'd assume so. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've been enjoying those. I just love those games. I love most of the Resident Evil games, honestly. Like, I know,
Clarification of most. Yeah.
I know that I shit on Resident Evil 6 a lot,
Hmm.
but to be fair to it, I finished one of the campaigns.
Yeah. So far, I've not played a Resident Evil game I didn't like.
Yeah,
And that's a big thing, and that's a big thing. Like I think the main part, like I think it was Revelations 2 is the only one I played where I'm like, it was okay.
yeah, yeah.
It wasn't anything spectacular. It's not something I would like rush to go out myself, like I did with 6 when I first played it.
I think I
As
think
much as
the
you crap on it.
co-op for Resident Evil, for Revelations 2 was interesting, in that
Mm.
like one person was basically the not the puzzle
Flashlight carrier.
solver,
Yeah.
flashlight carrier, which yeah, take it or leave it. I suppose if you've got somebody with you that's like not much of a gamer, maybe that could be fun for them. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I was the flashlight carrier when I did it with FD.
Yeah, could you not
Because
like
I
switch it up?
no, he well I don't really know Claire because I never encountered uh, her until the remake of Resident Evil 2.
Ah, right.
So I'm like, I don't really care for Claire. I'll play as
Oh,
Mario. I was like, I'll play Mario because he was like, I love Claire. Well, you play Claire then. And then later on we did the not mercenaries but like the arena mode sort of thing, and he takes Jill, didn't he? I'm like, you mother. You unlock Jill later, and it's like I'm playing as Jill, and I'm like, okay. It didn't really bother me. We were funny though.
I never
Yeah,
really got into that weird mode. I didn't
it's just
really
something else to
understand the
do.
point of it. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
I suppose that's true.
It was during the time when I was first making the first ever game I was making with him. It was just staying at his house. Whenever we wanted to take a break, if we ever did, or it'd be right before actually when I was just going to visit him in general. It'd be sat down, order food, and just Revelations 2. And so it was a great time. It was honestly a great time playing it. But it was the one that's like, if I didn't have someone there playing it with me, I would not have cared about it. And
Yeah,
that's why it's only mediocre, because looking at it, it's like, I would not have played it myself really very far. I would have finished it because it's a Resident Evil game,
yeah,
but that would have been the only reason for it.
fair enough. Well, I can show
Yeah.
you some terrible Resident Evil games at some point.
Yeah, there's a lot of others I haven't played yet, like the Code Veronica's apparently really bad, and other ones,
I,
whoever they are.
I didn't mind Code Veronica, but also I have a soft spot for Claire, so
Fair.
yeah, she gets away with anything, even if it's a mediocre game.
But yeah,
And yeah,
but yeah, the ray tracing then, yeah, it's a shame that like the frame rate tanked so much,
yeah,
because frame rate is one of those things where it's like if it's consistent, you kind of can forget you're in a game.
yeah. Even if
But
it's
when
like
as soon as
a
it,
consistent 30, which
yeah,
I'm not a big fan of 30. I'd rather it be a consistent number, no matter what that number is, than
yeah,
like constant drops.
yeah. Now, no less than 24, because 24 is kind of like what movies are and stuff generally. No less than 24 is a consistent number. If it's about 20, then you can see it's choppy. If you don't notice the frame rate as much, unless you're very used to like 60, then yeah, I completely agree. It needs to be consistent.
Yeah, I'm kind of elitist where I'd rather no less than 60.
Yeah, yeah, like yeah. I grew up full console. I only got the PC back in like 2016. Really, so I swapped into
Yeah,
that because I had a crappy laptop, so it never hit 60 anyway.
right, right.
I think I hit 45 was the max. And I couldn't tell the difference between consoles and 45 back then. But yeah,
Fair.
it's a shame because that's one thing that pulls out the immersion. And when you're playing a horror game like that, even if it's not scary, it's scary for some people. And if you're having choppy frame rates, that's just going to ruin the experience, isn't it?
Yeah,
When you want it to look that good,
100%.
they
But
might
yeah,
balance it a bit more. Ray tracing's still a new feature overall for games and for
yeah.
real time running of graphics. So
I mean,
we'll
maybe
see.
they'll find a way to fix that issue. And as I
Oh yeah,
said, I don't know if Resident Evil 3 or Resident Evil 7 have that same issue. I haven't properly tried them yet. As far as I got on Resident Evil 3 was like, you go through the like cafe at the start when Brad gets bit.
yeah.
That's as far as I got, where you get the first gun, basically.
Ah, okay.
So
Fair enough.
yeah, but I mean those signs on the street looked pretty good because like you come out of the alleyway and you meet with Brad, and then you go towards like a movie theater,
Mhm.
and yeah, with ray tracing, those signs looked lovely. Beautiful.
Nice.
But yeah, that has pretty much been all I've been playing.
Fair enough.
So I suppose it's time we move on to Player's Choice
The
Talk.
player's choice.
Right, so continuing on from the week before last's choice of World of Warcraft Vanilla
Yes.
Classic. What are your updated thoughts? We kind of did a dungeon.
Yeah, we kind of did a dungeon. It's the same. It's after we've hit this part now. It's the same trope that every single MMO is vulnerable to, and not a single one escapes. And it's the people who play it are generally stuck in their ways, and that's it. So if you can get a full people, you can get a Discord server or something set up. You got all your people and you're ready to do dungeons and raids and stuff. You'll never have a problem. You will be fine and you will have fun.
Yeah.
If you got to get randoms, we saw the first time we gave up in our first try.
Yeah.
People listening, we tried to hire some people, talk to people, like trying to send out messages and DMs and stuff. You were getting back like no thank yous and or getting ignored.
Yeah.
So after like an hour, we abandoned it. We're like, oh, we'll try again next time. Tried again in the morning. We found some people, and they're like, oh, we got a new tank and new healer, here to try. So we'll see how that goes. And they weren't like very good them. So they were leveled high for where they were, so they did well then. One guy pulled a group they shouldn't have pulled, and then the tank, which was just Sam, he accidentally pulled like a group or two here and there. But like, it was just it was really shame because then one guy left, and then we abandoned the whole. We carried on with the one person that was with us, and we kind of stuck at that point. We're like, what else can we do? Because we weren't. There were too many enemies even in one group for three of us to handle at that point.
Yeah.
With our levels, so it got to the point where it's like, well, especially because how aggro works in World of Warcraft, it is brutal. Me being the healer, I'll heal one person, and that's it. I'm getting swamped.
Yeah, things aggro switch very quickly. There are a lot of abilities that tank classes get where it's like deals X amount of damage and causes a high amount of threat. But
Yes.
like the rogue guy that was with us doesn't really have anything like that as far as I'm aware. I only had something like that if I was in tank mode, which like eventually I switched into because Sam got a little overwhelmed by the whole tanking responsibility, which I cannot fucking blame. It can
When
be
you're a
a
new
lot.
tank, it's hard because it's basically have no regard for yourself, and you have to hit every single target and monitor every single target and make sure that they're always engaged on you as much as possible.
Yeah, and just
While
hope
maintaining
that the healer can keep you up.
Yeah, exactly, and it gets very difficult because one person breaks off, and like with me, they broke off, and not only then Sam has to realize that they've broken off. He then has to make a move on the enemy who broke off, and try get aggro from them before I die in 3 hits.
And when you're not a PC gamer, that's not exactly a quick thing to do.
Yeah, it's difficult to realize it's happening. I get one hit on me by the time it's realized. They make the move the next to the enemy. I've been hit a second time. They hit them. If aggro's not swapping, then I'm dead. And it's that simple. It's that quick for it to happen. So, yeah, it's a punishing thing. And unfortunately, like I said, if players don't recognize the difficulty that comes with it, so they just kind of abandoned it. So that's the shit. It's the trope of every MMO. So unfortunately, that's just the way that goes. But it's still a very good MMO. We got a lot of good loot from the dungeons to make it where I can see why all these people do dungeon runs, raid runs, and it's what you're saying. Like, I'm raiding with my guild tonight. I can't, and it's like now seeing how brutal it is for parts, I can see why one person being down can ruin the entire raid.
Yeah.
Because when you plan it out strategies like that, because you could take in theoretically, people could look at why don't you take in like 50 people? Loot is shared between those people, so you can, but then you're taking a much lesser cut. You might, if you go into a dungeon and you with like a raid of 20 people, and you get all the loot from it, you would then come out with maybe 5 pieces of loot. Let's say arbitrary numbers. If you go in with like 40 people, if you even theoretically can, you're going to end up come out with half loot then because you have to share it between everyone. So it's not worth taking those people, right?
For dungeons, it's limited to 5 people. Raids are 40 people, though.
Yeah.
Which one cog goes wrong in that scenario, and it can fall apart. Like,
Yeah.
if one of the tanks loses threat, yeah, it can just go shit very quickly. Raids
Exactly.
are
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. It's just it's a shame. It's a shame that people aren't more understanding that these are the way that things go.
Yeah, and I think you
Um,
said it the other day where, like, the people who are playing WoW Classic are the kind of the hardcores that have been playing WoW for
yeah.
a long time. So even if they don't mean to be, to some degree they're going to be like not
Judgmental
elitist,
in a way.
but they're going to expect
Better
perfection.
than
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
They expect better than most people can afford because they're used to playing with the people who stuck to a class and practice it.
yeah,
And they're the ones going out and do the dungeons. And that's why they're at the top levels with all the good gear doing these dungeons with you, is because that's what they're trained to do.
yeah,
That's what they practice to do. So they used to think, even then, if you're looking at it, it's like you take the best person at a shooting game in the entire world, and you half their skill, they'll land half the shots. They'll still be better than the average person.
yeah,
So when you're going in thinking, I'm expecting, and you think like I'm going to do so well, I'm going to expect half of what I've seen for years. With this new group, people can't realistically perform to that. A lot of people can anyway. It's like when you don't know the system. Like I didn't know how the aggro was going to be that bad until we experienced it the first time after a couple of days. Like okay, now we're going to learn from that, and you have to try to do this.
yeah.
You
And
know, it was
it's one of those things where I don't think I properly fully explained the like gravity of the tank roll to Sam, but also like how exactly do you explain all of the like what he has to
intricate ways of how
do
it's going to
and
go.
yeah,
Yeah,
managing the aggro and whatnot to somebody who hasn't really played an MMO before.
and some
Like
not played them much before.
he's played MMOs, but not one that's like got the trifecta, as far as I'm aware. Like
Oh, okay.
when
Yeah.
we've played twice now. We've started characters together.
Hmm.
We never got that far. I think we got around like level 10 both times and just
I see.
stopped for
Yes,
one reason or
yes. You're
another.
just free roaming where you thinking tank is easy because you can just sit there and like stand between two people and kind of whack at them,
Yeah,
if that.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like he was saying that he plays a lot of tanks in games,
Hmm.
which, as we mentioned earlier, is like games like Overwatch where the tanking role is nothing like the tank role
No,
in World of Warcraft.
it's
So
completely different type of
yeah,
play style.
yeah, his frame of reference was completely off, which wasn't his fault, obviously.
No, it's not.
But yeah, it didn't help.
In 90% of games when you're playing as a tank, it's stand in the middle there and don't move.
Yeah,
Or follow the payload. I'm always imagining for me as a tank, I'm thinking of Overwatch with Reinhardt. I'm standing the payload. I'm blocking bullets and defending probably Bastion Salmi because that's the best combo.
yeah,
Let's face it. Just doing that, or like you move forward, you're pushing a thing and you're blocking the whole doorway to allow your people to shoot through, so you can clear an opening. Because you're the one going to take all the damage as you walk out, allowing your people to come out and not get shot immediately.
yeah,
And it's that sort of role. The aggro's always on you because you're the first person through the door. Whereas this way, and they stay on you the whole time unless they start getting a lot of damage. Whereas this, I could, as a healer, I could probably keep all three of the other people alive, all four of the other people alive.
yeah.
It's not that difficult to be a healer with the heal bot. It's such a useful mod.
It's
So
like I can never go back to the
yeah,
original way.
looking at that, like I've done the original way because I played a healer in many MMOs,
Yeah,
and I do the original way. The certain times though, at least with the World of Warcraft vanilla, I'm like clicking on it, and I'm like, it's not really selecting sometimes, or you're a little bit of a distance. Whereas the bot will tell you if you're in the distance or not because it glows up.
yeah,
It will tell you whether or not they should even be healed because it'll glow. Things like that. It's just incredibly useful to know, and I can keep everyone alive with that bot very easily. The problem is when I'm doing that, so much aggro comes onto me because it's heal, 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 heal. They just break off. So it's not like any other tank roll because
yeah,
you're immediately losing aggro. Just like normal tanks, you can stand there, can't stand there. You have to hit every single person, and if you do hit one person more than the other, or you hit this person, he might aggro anyway because it was just a basic attack. So you need all your rage to do bigger attacks that generate more threat. And
yeah,
it's one thing where I'm sat here like, man, we need two tanks because it's me as an unexperienced World of Warcraft player, I'm looking at it as like, how do we even do that?
Yeah.
And how we had it. So yeah, I don't blame like that where it was like, yeah, I don't blame anyone in this situation. It was just one of the situations where it's like, I wish it was different. No one was in the wrong really for it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, overall, my thoughts still stay the same on World of Warcraft. It's still a very good game. I'm looking forward to playing it. Like to the people listening now, player's choice is done for World of Warcraft because we have experienced the dungeon in that way.
Yeah.
We even ended it where we're like, just to make sure we finished it and cleared it and we've seen what it's like. You brought in a level 60 for us and charged through the whole thing,
Yeah.
so we could at least see what was at the end of the dungeon, how it normally goes, and we
Which
got the loot, and that was it.
I admit isn't a great way to experience a dungeon, but at least you saw the dungeon, you know?
Yeah, we saw the dungeon, and more dungeons will come later
Yeah.
because we all agreed we want to carry on playing the game anyway.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't do that with a game I didn't like. I won't bother playing it. And like, I haven't loaded it up earlier. When I was like, oh, I want to make my tailoring skill, so I got some cloth bolts and things, and like put them all together and
Yeah.
a little bit of practice here and there. It's like it's still just a solid game. So yeah,
In fact, we've got some notes from Sam here about his
yeah,
experience with WoW. He says it withstands the test of time. I can agree with that. Good to play as a group, definitely. I think if you can get 4 other friends together, that would be ideal. Like, one of you is a tank, one of you is a healer, 3 of you as DPS. I don't know how often, like, groups of friends like that come up, but if you can do that, that would be absolutely ideal. So you're not going to have, like, any fucking heated arguments or people ignoring you or people kicking off or stealing loot or whatever the hell.
yeah. As always with MMOs, getting with friends is always going to be better.
Yeah.
But I think it's worthwhile, even from my experience now, just even get just one other person. It's still enjoyable. I feel like we have a good number of 3 people.
Yeah.
Like that's a good solid number because we picked a role each, and then that was it, and it's a great time having with that. So yeah. It is better to play with groups.
Some quests were a bit tedious, he says, like ones where you have to wait for items to respawn, which I do agree with.
Yeah.
The server that we play on, not going to name it, but they have like upped the, or I suppose reduced the cooldown for items respawning, but even then it was not enough. I don't get why it isn't just instant. Like, I don't see why that would change anything. You know?
Yeah, I don't get it either. I've seen it with so many MMOs though, where the items go like that, and you gotta wait. And I've done it so many times myself where I'm collecting an item, and then I collect it, and someone walks in, just stands there, and it's like, I feel like they're looking at me like, motherfucker, you have to walk past them.
Yeah.
Like, you're carrying the item back, and they have to sit there and wait.
There was some pretty funny footage that came out of when World of Warcraft Classic originally launched. There's, in one of the starting areas, the human one, there's a target you have to kill for a quest, and basically people were queuing up to wait to kill this target.
Yeah.
Which, a bunch of footage came out of that, and that was very funny.
And that's the problem with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he says, overall I enjoyed it and the dungeon experience was fun. So, I mean, he enjoyed the dungeon, even if it didn't go great for him, he still enjoyed it, so that's something.
Yeah. Easily.
And that's pretty much all we have for World of Warcraft. We might, next week when we talk about what we've been playing, we might go into a bit more about WoW. Or we might mention a bit of WoW, I should say.
Yeah, here and there. Not if something big is happening or we're doing something that's worthwhile mentioning.
Yeah, we've kind of switched up the rules a little bit. Martin's staying with his healer.
Healer supremacy!
Yeah. Sam has decided to create a dwarf warrior, and he's like slowly catching up to where Martin is currently. And I made a night elf druid, and I'm going to be the resident tank from now on. So we'll see if that improves the experience in any way, shape or form. But yeah, overall, I think it's been a positive player's choice, I would say.
Aye.
But that brings us on to the next player's choice, which was decided last week, and that is the dice landed on me, and I chose Vampire Survivors. So Martin, you have been slaying at this game. I think it's fair to say.
Slaying. Yeah, it's you cannot go wrong with this game.
No.
I've played a lot of games in my time. I got my stick now. Hold on, get my pipe. Get the old white man beard. I've played a lot of games in my time, but this is one that's like honestly, you can't go wrong with it. It's £2.09, and it's one of the best £2.09 you will ever spend.
Yep.
It's. I can look at it, and a lot of time I look at a lot of games, and the Steam marketplace and phone marketplace and all the rest of them are oversaturated with really crappy pixel art games that are just really bad to play. They don't work properly, they're glitchy, or the idea is terrible, all these other things. So whenever I see a game that comes out as pixel art, nowadays, I assume it's kind of the same. I have to let someone else validate it for me first before I even entertain the idea of it.
Yeah.
If it's not on Steam, I would have avoided it.
In fact, it's to the point where like Sam just immediately assumes it's made in RPG Maker, and I can't blame him.
Yeah, exactly. But literally going on it and playing it, it's absolutely fantastic. It's addictive because there is, as you know, progression. I love progression.
Yeah.
And seeing the progression is great because you go in, you start off. I made it to 11 minutes in the first run, and it's great just because you start off with the items, you keep getting them, you get luck on the drops of them and the rolls, but you start getting more upgrades for them when you reach certain levels for items. So if you get a chest on a level up again, and it's not a chest on a level up. When you level up, you get a choice between the 3 items or 4 if you got high enough luck.
Yeah.
And if you're choosing like knives again or the axe again, it'll level up. When you get to like level 4, you unlock something else to start appearing in those level ups. And when you can even hit like level 7 or something while playing as a set character, and you get unlocks. It has an unlock page so you can check everything you want to get. And then there's evolutions for the weapon later, which makes it all sound very complex, but it's incredibly simple because it's just moving around. You don't have to ever click at the attack button. You have to do nothing besides WNS and D key, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Just like the menus.
Stick.
Yeah, one analog stick, or like you can use the mouse even. You can hold and click and drag around.
Yeah.
It has like the phone controls. It's weird. I'm never using that. And I noticed it was there. I'm like, oh, I'm like with the mouse. It's really, really good. I can't say good things about it because I would be here for ages.
Yeah.
Saying all the good things about it, but it's simple. It's fun. You have constant unlocks, and there's always a reason to hit that play button again. As soon as you hit the first time, you'll go through and it's like, boom, I've unlocked this thing now. I want to try this thing. You play it again.
Yeah.
I want to unlock this thing now. I want to unlock that thing. I want to do that thing.
You will 100% be pressing that play button again. It is very fucking addictive. Which I'm sure you and Sam can both attest to.
Yeah, I keep looking at it now. Like I've just unlocked the item now, so I can level up the King's Bible.
Yeah.
And I want to go and see what the upgrade is. I've seen the upgrade when we streamed it.
Yeah.
But I want to see how far I can make it in a run with that, with the garlic upgrade. Possibly now it's the magic wand upgrade. Like you have a build, and I've seen people do different builds, and like between us what they like. But there's always some ones they jump back on. You know, I feel like that's the main thing. That's like a shame in a way is that there's some weapons that are far superior to others.
Yes.
Even a full evolution, I would rather take like a level 4 version of a weapon versus the full evolution of another, because they just can be really, really bad. It's just a shame, but I get it. You want this, like with how the system works, you want there to be some element of luck between these runs. Not have every single weapon be the ultimate weapon.
I do think that, like, the evolutions do make up for that. Like, a lot of the evolutions are incredibly useful.
Oh, yeah.
And they make the weapon worthwhile to a degree. I'm yet to find the evolution for the pentagram, you know, the one that like wipes everything that's on screen. I'm hoping that it actually improves that.
Yeah, I still need to do it in a run.
Yeah.
It just didn't show up and I got forced to pick it. I had one run where I was like, I'm going to get this. Literally next run I'll be able to, because I'll be going for King's Bible, I'll be going for the others. I need to unlock that like skip function for a level up and like or a reroll and things like that, so I can wait for the pentagram to appear, because you don't want, the problem is with the pentagram, you don't want it in the beginning, because you will never be able to level up properly.
100%.
So by the time you get to it, you're just going to die. It's pointless getting it.
Yeah.
that was my fault at the time when I did it. So like I leave it to the end now. I get all 5 of the weapons that I want in a build and push for that,
Yeah.
and just keep holding it and leveling up everything until the pentagram is going to appear again, and then I'll take it because it's not a problem because I can get chests from bosses and things. And I did manage to get to like level rank 3, I think, or something.
Mm.
At one point, it did actually say there's a 25% chance to like leave the items alone. At this point now, so I'm like, if that was like level 3, theoretically, it gets to the point where it's like good 75% chance of somebody to think, or at least
Yeah.
50%.
Maybe that's what the evolution is. Maybe it is just like kill
Yeah,
all enemies on screen.
exactly. And now, and the cooldown goes. It was you get it first. Rank 2 was cooldown down by 10 seconds,
Yeah.
which is a minute and 10 seconds to cast with on level 1, which means it's 1 minute to cast each time. And then it gets to this third rank, which was the chance to keep items. So if there's another cooldown on it again, you might get to West every 30 seconds or something.
Yeah.
The only thing I noticed is it didn't seem to kill any bosses. I'm not saying if it did, because it went off when a boss was near me, the boss disappeared, and then the boss comes from the side again. So I'm like, I'm not sure if it just pushed it off the screen or not. You know, and it cleared it away, killed all the enemies, but pushed him away from the screen.
Yeah, it'd be
You know,
weird
'cause it's
if
a
it
boss.
did that, but maybe.
You can understand why though, because it's
Yeah,
a boss. You don't want it to die in one. Like I don't like with the 30-minute thing that happens. Which I made it 30 minutes yet. I made it to like 29 minutes and 47 seconds or something stupid, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, ridiculously close to 30 minutes. But that's with the King's Bible. I'll actually get the 30 minutes now.
Oh yeah, easily. King's
Yeah.
Bible plus garlic. You're fucking
Yes.
set for life.
Then auto fire magic wand, duplicator for, and you may as well get the lightning ring.
Yeah.
Because of the evolution. It's like that is the build of those 4 items. You get the crown for XP. You can get speed. You can get air effect. All these other ones that you can get, and it's all very useful.
Have you gotten both the black and the white doves?
I did, yes,
Have
and
you
I evolved them.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's quite a good one, because when you get both of them, it takes up like 2 weapon slots. But when you evolve them, it gives you a free weapon slot, because they become 1 slot. So that's quite like... People have their little... I suppose you could call it an exploit of like doing that trick of like filling their weapon bar up with like those 2, like getting the weapons that they want, then filling it with those 2, then evolving that so that they can get a chance to then get whatever the hell else, maybe something else that they can evolve, which people are getting clever as fuck with this like tiny fucking indie game. It's great. I love it.
Yeah. It's great. I can't say enough good things on it. I could stay here for just keep saying about the same things. But yeah, those are my thoughts on it. So people listening, give it a go. It's worth trying.
Yeah.
It will run probably on any computer you want to try run it on.
In fact, it like straight up starts in windowed mode. That's how like little it requires.
Yeah. So in Windows when it runs, and it runs fine, and it's just a lot of fun. And even if you only got like even if you did a few runs or something on it, like it's not bad if you spend like an hour on it. It's really people. As soon as you get started in it, if you're fun, you're like, I want to start with this certain weapon. You get a certain character that starts with that weapon or this item and things. Yeah, it's worthwhile giving it a go, and I did very much enjoy it.
And as before, we have some notes from Sam on it. He says, simple gameplay loop, yes. Fun and addictive, 1000%. Suitable for both casual and regular players, yeah.
Yep.
A fair challenge of ability and skill. I don't know if it's skill so much, but...
It's in a way of like, sort of avoiding the enemies, like reaction times and things and like, part of it is where, okay, like say the garlic. I know it can kill certain enemies in 1 shot, but I know it can't kill 2. So when I'm avoiding enemies, I will purposely only be looking at like the white skeletons versus the blue ghosts on the 2nd level, because I know I can walk through those blue ghosts, so I don't have to consider them. So I can plan my routes.
I feel like the passive and weapon randomization is such that skill doesn't so much come into it, you know? Like,
well, I agree. It's not like a skill-based game, but there is a little bit of skill to it.
Yeah. I mean,
there's no, but it's more knowledge, I think, more than skill, really. Knowledge of the game.
Yeah.
But Yeah,
He
maybe he had more to elaborate on what he meant by skill,
yeah, but
but we won't know
he
because
doesn't
he's
get
not
to
here.
say it. He
Yeah.
says he can't wait to see where it goes next. He,
Yes.
the guy does release regular fucking updates for it. It's constantly getting updated, which I do appreciate.
Mm.
Like, he didn't just fucking take the money and run,
Yeah.
thankfully.
It's good to have a dev that actually appears to care.
Yeah,
That is when it's still keep working on it. It's a very simple game, so updates will be, you would assume, would be quick.
yeah,
Anyway. But it's actually giving the quick updates rather than we assume it'll be quick and it's been a month, or 3 months or something and nothing's happened.
yeah.
I don't know how it releases them, but still, yeah,
And
that's good.
finally, Sam has some ratings for it.
Yeah.
He says the price is 10 out of 10. The quality overall is 9 out of 10. The gameplay is 8 out of 10. The entertainment is 10 out of 10. The support, as in like releasing patches and whatnot, is 9 out of 10. And he seems very active on the like Vampire Survivors Reddit subreddit.
Yeah.
And he says the overall score is 9 out of 10. So yeah,
9.
it's safe to say that Sam has also really enjoyed it.
Yeah, Sam has been. There were times when we were talking in the morning or something. It's like, I'm playing Vampire Survivors. It'd just be sat in like the Discord just streaming it as if we wanted to join. We could watch.
We just take turns streaming it and watching each other play.
We
And
did. We do
whatnot,
like a
and
run or two. Yeah, it was
it's
good.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Overall, very good place choice.
Yes. What can I say? I know good games, and I know bad ones. Resident Evil 6. Right. So moving on to news. We
The
have.
news.
Oh God, we have a.
There's a
long
lot
list.
of news to go over, but it's all like quick fire.
Yeah. In fact, it all has to be quick fire. Honestly, like
Yeah.
we might
If
stop
we
for
have
a
something to
second.
say, we'll bring it up. Yeah, and that's about
exactly.
it. Yeah.
Right. Do you want to start us off, Martin?
Sure. So the Summer Game Fest happened.
Mm-hmm.
And we had JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle, our early access demo available June 16th for PS4 and PS5 only.
So, as you're hearing this podcast, that will be out.
Nice, it will be. I've never watched any of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
No,
So
I keep meaning to, but just
I
never
want to.
have.
There's so many memes, but I've no idea where it's going to go. So we'll see. Street Fighter 6 has Guile gameplay trailer. I need to go watch that myself because I didn't even watch that part of the Summer Game Fest. That'd be cool. We'll see how that goes. Modern Warfare 2 campaign gameplay revealed. No, it'll be the original. So I don't even want to look. Aliens Dark Descent announced with a trailer and a release window of 2023 coming to PS4, PS5, Series S, Series X, Xbox One, and PC. So pretty much every platform.
Yeah.
So that'll be good for all the Aliens fans like myself.
It looks like a kind of isometric, top-down run and gun sort of game, which somewhat interests me. Anything's better than fucking Fireteam Elite. That game is.
Yeah, I played a bit of. I think I played Fighting Sleep. I'm gonna have to Google it while I talk. But the next part is the Callisto Protocol gameplay shown.
That looks very Dead Space, and I am very into it.
Yeah, is that the one you confused for Dead Space at the time?
Yeah.
You're like, is this Dead Space?
I was like, oh my god, is this Dead Space 4? Nope.
Yeah.
That's also the one that was meant to be set in the PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds universe.
Oh
Weirdly.
yeah, of course it wasn't. Yeah, which is weird. Yeah. Flashback 2 announced with a trailer and a release window of winter. Winter is coming, and so is Flashback 2. Fair enough. A new look at Witchfire, which is a roguelike game by the devs behind Bulletstorm and Painkiller.
I enjoyed Bulletstorm, I enjoyed Painkiller, I'm into this.
Look, nice. Never played Bulletstorm, but I always wanted to try it. I have to go back and try it. Fort Solis announced with a trailer starring Roger Clark and NFT's own Troy Baker. All right then.
I forgot that I put that in there.
Yeah. Well, it's there now. It's on the podcast now. Routine announced with a trailer coming to Series S, Series X, Xbox One, PC, and Game Pass, featuring music by Mick Gordon.
Yep.
Mick Gordon.
Very own.
I need a very own who made soundtracks such for Doom.
Hell yeah.
The remake of Doom. Just if I want to talk about that specifically. Routine game. I need to now bookmark this because I will take a look at this later then. Because I missed the beginning half of like Summer Games Fest.
Yeah.
Black Adam gets a trailer.
Yeah,
Not to be confused
The Rock
It's gonna be-
introduced a Black Adam trailer. It was weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Rock was the gamer.
Well,
Fair
it
enough.
probably isn't. It probably
They
just
just
fucking-
hired him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Don't matter. Stormgate revealed with a trailer and beta release window of 2023, which is an RTS developed by Frost Giant Studios, ex-Blizzard devs. Yeah, so by Frost Giant Studios, who are ex-Blizzard devs.
Yeah, they have good bones as RTS devs, I guess. You know, with like
Stargate? Was it called? It's not Stargate, but like stuff.
StarCraft and
StarCraft. That's it.
Warcraft, in fact, before it
Yes.
became World of Warcraft. So
Okay.
maybe it'll be good. Not that I'm not a huge RTS player. The most I'll play is like an Age of Empires. Well, that's me.
We're good at classic cheats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at Stormgate. High Water revealed with a trailer and a release window of 2022. Which, I don't know how Water is.
Nope.
American Arcadia revealed with a trailer coming to PC and consoles. Yes. Goat Simulator 3 beta, Dead Island 2 fans with a trailer and a release window of fall coming to EGS, Xbox, and PlayStation.
So, did you see this trailer?
I saw it. It was great.
It was very funny. It basically, for the listeners that haven't didn't watch it, Dead Island 2 has kind of been on the back burner for a while. Nobody knows if it's actually going to happen or not. And Goat Simulator 3 decided to copy the original Dead Island 2 trailer with like a different art style. So people in like the live chat were like, "Oh my god, Dead Island 2, it's actually here." But no.
Yeah, and then just like the zombies come rushing out in the original Dead Island trailer. This is the goats that come out.
Yeah. It's so dumb, but I love it. Also, I love that it's called Goat Simulator 3, even though there was never a 2.
Yeah.
That's
What was the old expansions they called it that? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
New look at Marvel Midnight Suns with a release date of October 7th.
I'll probably play it. I'm a Marvel shill.
Fair enough. Hopefully you can let us know if it's any good then,
Yeah.
when that day comes. Neon White has a release date of June 16th for Switch and Steam.
So that will be out by the time you are listening to this podcast.
Aye. You can take a look at that. Formal opinions then. Midnight Fight Express launching August 23rd. I don't know what that is. Yeah, Honkai Star Rail revealed with trailer. It's new game by the Genshin Impact devs, Hoyoverse. Because they're not called MiHoYo anymore. They're called Hoyoverse.
I didn't even know they had a name change, to be quite honest.
Let me take I thought it was MiHoYo, but then they have the Miiverse, which is its own separate thing. MiHoYo is like the name of the game company that makes it, but the Hoyoverse is like all of their games together because Honkai Impact and Genshin Impact are set in the same universe,
Right.
just like thousands of years apart, it seems, or like, and they're different. I don't know exactly how it works because I tried a bit of Honkai Impact and did not like it.
Fair enough.
I didn't like it. I tried to get into it, but it wasn't good, so I kind of ignored it. I know many people who are going to be excited about the about Honkai Star Rail. It's interesting because I played a lot of Genshin. I've played a lot of Genshin in my time, and I think I played literally I think I didn't miss a single day for over a year. It's only been recently where I've got all the characters I want. Everyone's built well. I don't much care about getting the 3 stars on the end floor Spiral Abyss. You know, so I'm set to where I'm like, I don't really play anymore. I'm just gonna wait for attractive characters to come out and then probably go buy them.
You weeb.
Exactly, that's how it goes. It's how it goes. How they get me. Because I even care. It's just a bit to put them in the teapots. I'm like, do you even care? Yeah, I don't know if they did it unless Hoyoverse is the new thing. I'd have to go confirm that. It's interesting because it is essentially because it's Honkai Star Rail, so it is from the Honkai time period with all the future tech. But I don't know then how it's gonna play out, how the gameplay is gonna be. It seems like they might go with a similar Genshin style of running around. That's at least from the trailer anyway. Then I heard other people talk about how it was going to be like an RTS. That was the theory on all the Reddits because My friend Paige goes on Genshin Reddit all the time and like is fully up to date with all the lore. And that's what she told me ages ago.
Fair enough.
But either way, we'll see how that goes. And a new look at Zenless Zone Zero, which is also by Horrorverse.
They are making games.
I know originally they even wanted to. There was a rumors them wanting to make Sword Art Online essentially be a real thing with VR and stuff. Because they were in talks to people, and they got all the money from Genshin. They're like, well, they were in talks about it. It was great.
I don't know.
Maybe
Developers talk. Do you remember when fucking Kojima said he wanted to make a video game that if you died on it, the CD would like implode in your console? That's yet to happen.
It's fun things to happen. You don't want to like ruin someone's product, but it's just fun things to happen like that. Like the idea of it is great, and it's good to see what ideas come out of them. Yeah. Casey Jones announced for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, release date of June 16th, which will be out like already out by the time of the podcast.
Yep.
It's a 6-layer mode, which online and local also confirmed. An early review score is quite positive.
Yes, the Gamer has rated it 4.5 out of 5. Press Start has rated it 9 out of 10. Noisy Pixel 9 out of 10. Game Informer 8.75 out of 10. Game Rant 4 out of 5. IGN 8 out of 10. GameSpot 8 out of 10. Siliconera, I don't know who they are, 8 out of 10. And Open Critic 87 out of 100, and that's with 15 critic scores. So it's looking pretty positive. I think I might get this. I haven't really played a decent side-scrolling beat-em-up since like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which I really fucking love. And yeah, I've never been a huge TMNT fan, but like, fuck it, if it's good, I'll play out.
If a game's good, it's good. Yeah. And so it's concerned when it comes to franchises like this, because there's two ways it goes. Either people love it because it's part of that franchise when it's terrible,
Yeah.
or people hate it when it's actually a good game, but it's because it's part of that franchise. So I don't know how this one will go. The gameplay makes it look fun,
Yeah.
and that's why I'd be like willing to check it out, just because it doesn't take itself seriously. It just looks fun.
Yeah.
The next piece, then, a new look at One Piece Odyssey. One Piece has so much stuff for it, so many animes. I do like. I've seen one part of it where I saw it come up on TikTok, and it was one of the guys apparently on the actual show is really terrible at navigation,
Right.
and like it's part of his character. And if you play as that character in the game, they blur the entire map out,
That's pretty.
so you can't see where it is. So I'm like, that's a really nice detail. I don't know if TikTok's just lied to me, or if that's actually a thing, but I want it to be a thing because that sounds hilarious.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Soul Hackers 2 getting an English dub on August 26th.
Never heard of it.
Neither have I. So that's maybe because it hasn't got an English dub. I'm obviously sub over a dub, but still, it's they don't really get. I don't hear about it much unless there is a dub. Is the problem? Mental Health Singer and coming later this year. Don't know what time this year. They didn't say, but later this year. So look out for that. A new look at Nightingale. Which whatever Nightingale is.
Yeah, I probably should have linked the trailers for all of this stuff. But you
I
can't
would
be
have
watching
spent
trailers in the middle
No,
of
it's been far too long, like looking through them all. Yeah, the idea is, to people listening at home, the idea was like, oh yeah, if we have something to say, we'll say it. And I'm looking through like, I don't know these games.
Yeah.
Because there's so much analysis, how do you even remember?
It's
Okay,
funny,
okay, that game. Yeah.
I watch these events and I still don't know these games.
Looking at the graphics, it kind of reminds me of like a Dishonored thing, but they're going through
Ah,
portals. Like from the pictures.
I could fuck with
With
that.
big monsters.
Dishonored with portals.
Yeah. There's a big portal that they're going through in the pictures anyway, and they have to. It's like a first-person survival game.
Fair enough.
But yeah. Where are we now? Okay, Saints Row gets a Boss Factory demo, which is out now.
So the boss factory is where you can basically the main character of Saints Row is the boss. So
Yes.
boss factory is where you get to design your character before the game comes out, and then I assume import them, so you don't have to like mess around in character creation when it actually comes out. Which that's always nice.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were complaining about like how the trailer for the new Saints Row looks way too realistic, so you're not going to be able to get bombastic with the character creation, and you absolutely can. They put this. It seems like they put this demo out to be like, well, actually, you can get fucking not so wild with this character creator, so shut up.
Which is good.
Yeah.
New look at Warhammer Darktide launching September 13th.
Yeah, so this is the Warhammer 40k version of Vermintide, essentially. It looks very chunky, very heavy, and I am into it. I'm definitely going to fucking play that.
Nice. Love to let me know how that goes then.
Yes, I shall.
Layers of Fear announced with a release window of early 2023.
Layers of Fears.
Layers of Fears,
it's
yeah.
a bad name.
Layers of
I don't
Fears.
like that name.
Because I didn't even notice it said that.
Yeah.
Because I look at it, it said like, oh, it's Layers of Fear. It's like, didn't that already come out like in a second one?
Yeah.
But now this is number 3 essentially, maybe without it being number 3. I hope that this one is better because I've watched a playthrough of both number 1 and 2. And I only started watching it because 2 came out. And I'm like, well, I want to get caught up. So I watched the first one, like, oh, this is really cool. And then Layers of Fear 2 was not that cool.
Oh.
I did not like it watching it.
Is it a classic case of like victim of its own success?
Yeah, it lost all the charm. It made the first one anyway look decent.
Yeah.
You know, it looked cool enough to where I'd pick it up, you know, if it was like, you know, 15 quid or something. 10, 15 quid.
Wasn't the first one a mod for Half-Life? Or am I thinking of a different game entirely?
There's so many things that start out as mods, you could be right, but I genuinely don't know. It wasn't mentioned in the video when I saw or anything.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of a different thing. Never mind.
Fair enough. So yeah, and then Layers of Fear 2 just lost it. So we'll see. Hopefully they've taken this time to bring it back and get back to where it was like. New look at Gotham Knights, which is one that's that beat 'em up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the one that's like takes place in the Arkham universe when spoilers for the Arkham games, when Batman died.
Dun, dun, dun.
So it's like Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl, and Red Hood.
Yeah,
Like
I think it's
doing vigilante shit in his name, I guess. I don't know. Everything I've seen of the gameplay, the combat looks like it looks like a rip-off of the Arkham combat in a weird way. Even though I'm pretty sure it's still Rocksteady that's making it, it looks like one of the many games that came out after the fact that it's just ripping off the combat. It doesn't have the impact of the Arkham games. I think I've said this in another podcast.
We said it when it first ever got announced because this was a new look, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, people are excited for it, so let them be excited.
If they enjoy it, they enjoy it.
Yeah.
Good for them. And then, onto the final bit of the Summer Games news, it seems. The Summer Games Fest. The Last of Us news. The Last of Us getting a remake for PS5 with a trailer and release date of September 23rd.
Yep, they released
Factions.
a few, like... Oh, sorry.
I was going to go through them all and then talk about them.
Yeah.
Factions 2 is a standalone multiplayer game with a story. And then a new look at the Last of Us HBO TV series. Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker to play real roles in it. Which would be very cool for them because they deserve to have real roles in them.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's cool that they even offered them real roles.
Yeah.
Rather than just like fucking cameos or whatever, or nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they released a few like I think it was a bit of gameplay and some screenshots of the Last of Us remake. So like places like Digital Foundry and whatnot did kind of side by side comparisons.
Yeah.
And I think it looks fucking great.
I think it looks great. I'm kind of like, there was at one part I'm like, hang on, which is the remake for a split second? Because I couldn't tell when I was at there. I'm like, oh, okay, that's the one. And then I could tell afterwards. I was like, okay. Because they had like it was on Instagram when I saw it, and then the names were kind of weird of which one it was saying was the remake or not.
Right.
Or like it was because it was remake and remaster, and I was like, hang on. And it's like I got the logic and term like screwed up in my head, where I'm like, which is newer then? It's obviously remake. When I think about it for 5 seconds, but I couldn't process it at the time.
Yeah.
And when I didn't, I could not. probably tell which one it was until like there was a couple of other screenshots, and I'm like, now I can tell.
It's
It
weird.
but it pretty much looks like Last of Us 2. It's Last of Us 2, but now this game again.
Yeah, which I mean, sure. Last of Us
Yeah.
2 was a good fucking looking game. Say what you will
Yes.
about the game like itself, but it was a good looking game.
Yeah. No one can deny the graphical feat and the animational feat that they pulled off of it.
Yeah.
No one can deny how it looked. You can talk about whatever else you want. Who cares? Have your opinions. And Last of Us obviously was a fantastic game.
Yeah.
So having that come back again, it would be good for like it was already still it's still kind of held graphically anyway.
Oh
You
yeah.
could play the original Last of Us, it still held itself anyway. Even when they did the remaster as well later, like that still holds its own. They didn't have to, but they're doing it again, I guess, for the PS5 lot.
Apparently they're tweaking the combat as well, which I'm glad about. The one thing that made me dislike The Last of Us 1 and 2 was the no, okay. I do not dislike those games. Those games are good games.
Yes.
But I hated the combat.
I remember I played Last of Us because I played both of them. I've actually played these ones. I got my brother into them and he brought over his PlayStation and I got to play them.
Nice.
Literally, I didn't because it was coming out and I was saying at the time. I talked to you about this at the time. For people listening at home, I turned to Nick and Sam, I think actually, when The Last of Us 2 was coming out, and I'm like, if any motherfucker spoils this for me, I'm slitting their throat, and I'm not even joking. and I was only half joking at that. I would literally probably disown them as a friend if they spoiled it for me, or at least not talk to them for like a year, because I was that invested into this Last of Us 2. And so when it was coming out, my brother came over and like Last of Us was on like the PlayStation Pass and you could get it for free and play it. So we played through all of that. So and played it all for him. He tried it a little bit and he couldn't really wasn't getting into it. He's like, I much prefer watching this, which is new for him. I think it stands alone of how good the cinematic and direction was for the first game, because he didn't ever sit and watch games. He didn't watch YouTube or anything even to watch people playing games. He just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that alone speaks for itself when he actually wanted to sit and watch this. So I went through it all, and I remember I'm coming towards the end, and I'm like, I'm done of the combat. I'm done going through the section where I'm going to fight and shoot things. I'm bored of that little section now. So it's good that it's getting a tweak. It was the perfect like difficulty and how it played to last me just to the very end. That's because I knew it was coming to the end as well.
It didn't overstay its welcome.
Yeah. And now Last of Us 2 obviously had the same kind of combat. It was just a lot more brutal, which I liked, because it kept things a bit more interesting. But there were the parts I didn't enjoy. I still loved Last of Us 2. It was great. But I didn't feel like it was as good as the first. But it still was very good. And then the combat was improved enough to where it's like, it lasted a good like half to 3/4 of the time of that one. So if they've tweaked it to be almost like the combat of Last of Us 2, which they could do quite easily since it's been remade from the ground up, that's what the trailer said, then it will be fine. You'll enjoy the combat the whole way through then at that point, I'd say.
If I can even muster up to play through it.
If people can play through it again, yeah. I would only just get it to own it, like on PlayStation, because we bought Last of Us 2 to remember that we went halves to get it, to play it. But yeah, that's all of the Summer Game Fest.
Yes. Right, I will pick up from here.
Yeah.
So, God of War Ragnarok, the second in the reboot of God of War that's actually a sequel, has a release date to be revealed at the end of this month.
Ooh.
Which, I don't know, by the end of the original reboot God of War, I was kind of done with that whole combat and everything. So
yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to bother with Ragnarok personally.
Yeah, obviously I don't know the PS4. I watched all of Jacksepticeye play it.
Yeah.
And I remember getting to the point where, like in the final maybe 2 videos, I was just clicking through the combats to get to the cinematic so I could experience the story. And that's what I cared about more at that point was a little bit of the journey there, a little bit of interactions when they were talking. I'd be skipping through, and when they start talking, I listen and then I skip through again.
Yeah.
Just to get to it, because everyone I've talked to that's even played God of War got bored of the combat very quickly. So I'm hoping that they're adding some good tweaking to it. to make it to where it's not as gets to that where's that stage.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We shall
It'll still be
see.
good though. I'm looking forward to this release date though. At the very least, I know a lot of people are going to play it and get to watch them and give opinions then because it'll be great.
Yeah.
And I'll spot the release later when I get my PlayStation. Even if I don't play them, I'll buy them.
Bit of a tangent here, but are you actually going to like move on to PS5 next rather than Xbox?
I'm hoping to have the money where I can just get both and not even worry about it.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the dream.
Yes, that was the dream. If I have to pick one or the other, no one has yet decided on getting one. I don't fucking might have got a PS5. Or we can just go to PS5. Like, there was a lot of good things coming out to the Xbox.
Yeah.
But if I get to the point where I can even afford a next gen console, like we'll be at the stage where I can get both. But I'll get a PS5 just so I can play all the other PlayStation games I missed.
Yeah.
So that would be the main thing as well. Actually, that's why I'd pick that one first of the others because I've missed all the PS3, and I missed nearly all the PS4 because I was playing a couple with friends and stuff.
You need to play
So
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I played a little bit of that Spider-Man. I watched Spider-Man. I haven't watched any of Miles Morales, because I thought to myself, well, I did enjoy watching first Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So why? And I'll cut that. It's the same reason I didn't even watch Last of Us 2 get played. I played through it myself as a full thing to get the full experience that way. So I thought I'll do the same with Miles Morales, and then now I've been waiting. Know nothing about what happens. I just know there's a cat you can get in a backpack.
Hell yeah, there is. Right,
Yeah,
next
PS5
piece.
Yeah.
Tekken and Dragon Age are getting Netflix animated shows, and Castlevania is getting another one.
Hell yeah.
That Castlevania one is pretty good from what I watched. Like, I only finished the first season, I think, but I thought it was pretty good.
I'm a huge Castlevania fan, but I have not watched any of it. and that's it's just people are like, what? How can you be a huge fan? It's time. But I'm looking forward to it's getting another one, so I'm going to go watch the first and I'll watch the second stage. And I've been a Tekken fan since Tekken 2, and I played 3. Might have never played 3. It might have just been. It might not have played 2. I think I just played 3 on the PlayStation. But I got 3, and I think I missed 4 that, and I got 5. And then I think then 6 or whichever it is. I got a couple after because I've always enjoyed the Tekken games.
Yeah.
So having that, because it's already been a good kind of lore-based game anyway with the characters and the stuff going on with Jin and Hachi. I can forget his name. Hiachi. I always called him.
I have no fucking idea.
I could never read the names as a kid, so it was just Hiachi, I think I called him. But like in his training and stuff, and like all these little cutscenes that happen at the beginning when you chose the character and things. So yeah, and then having Dragon Age. Can speak about Dragon Age Origins to being the best. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching. I'm definitely going to give him a watch.
Everything I know about Tekken is from Giant Bomb has started like a series where they rate the Tekken endings. So every time you'd finish the game as a character, it'd play their ending, and some of them are fucking mental. And they've just been like going through and rating all of them, and it has been hilarious.
Gold. Always one of the best ones. Gone.
Yes.
Gone was a fantastic ending, and it would loop, and you watch it, and it loops, and you keep watching it. It's like, yes. I love it. Yeah, I remember that to this day. It was great. Do you remember do you watch the ending for, I forget his name, but the wooden block dude?
Oh, is that the one where
he has all the fighting styles. So he's like made of logs.
Is it the ending where like it's like real? It's people in suits.
No.
Oh right, well there's one where like there's a female tree person. You can tell because it has boobs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's walking through a forest and it comes upon like 2 other tree people playing tree Tekken in the forest, but it's all like live action, so it's people in costumes. And it is bizarre. I recommend looking up the Tekken.
Okay, endings. It's there's no people in suits because they must have green screened them out. Because I know the forest is pictures, but I thought it was animated on pictures, like on videos and stuff.
No,
but either way, yeah, that's the ending I was talking about because his wife kicks his ass and stuff, and makes him go get water, and she comes and punches him again.
Yeah.
And he flies up in the end. He flies up in the air in the end, and then it pretty much restart. It could restart to where he like lands again. Yeah, that I remember those 20s. I remember Gone, and I remember that. I remember a little bit of Harang's ending and a little bit of Paul's, because my brother always played Harang and I always played Paul.
I think my favourite ones so far that I've seen are King's endings.
Yeah.
He's the one with like the jaguar head. Because
Yes.
one of them, he just like walks up to a school and all these like live action kids run out of the school and they start like dancing around him and he just
Yeah.
raises his fists to the air. He's
Yeah.
the most ridiculous shit. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll linger in on this one too much.
Yeah, too much. Yeah, but I like Tekken. It's cool.
Fair
Next
enough.
news.
Cuphead, the delicious last course, has gone gold.
Hey,
I am
nice.
very much looking forward to that. It launches on 30th of June for $8, $10 Canadian, €8 or £6.
Nice.
Me and Nathan played through that. We've been slowly chipping away it for like the past 3 Christmases, and last Christmas we actually ended up finishing it, the like original game. So I'm probably going to end up buying the delicious last course, and we'll probably play it this Christmas, to be quite honest. So
Nice.
the review for that is going to be a little delayed, but you know, you'll get it when you get it.
Yeah, I've never played any of the Cuphead game. I didn't play the Cuphead game.
It's good.
I'm not
I highly
a fan
recommend
of
it.
the art style. Was the thing. I don't like the old cartoon art style.
Fair
I know
enough.
for a lot of people they do. Look, it's just not my thing. It's just not for me. So I never bothered picking it up. But I do enjoy watching it. It's always cool to like see people play through it,
Yeah.
how they get it. It's kind of a bullet hell. Yeah.
There is a Duke Nukem movie in the works from the Cobra Kai creators, legendary. I never watched Cobra Kai.
Nope, I didn't either.
There is a the Squid Games 2. Oh, Jesus Christ. The Squid Games is getting a season 2.
Yeah. There we go.
That's the thing. I never watched the first one. I heard it's good, but I just don't have
You
much
haven't?
of an
I thought you
interest.
watched the first season.
Nope.
Dude, am I gonna have to make this my player's choice if I win? I'm gonna have to. It's good.
I mean,
We're not
I
gonna linger on it.
believe you. I just
Yeah, maybe I just don't care.
not that interested.
Fair enough. Yeah, I will say I don't since for the things that I'll keep it no spoilers or anything else like that. Then I don't think it needs a season 2. The guy who wrote it wrote the first season and that's it. Essentially, because he tried to get the story published for like 12 years,
Yeah.
and no one took it, and then Netflix took it, and boom, highest ever watched thing they've ever made.
And now it's time to milk it.
Yeah, and now it's like I don't know if they wanted more from him. He could have reasonably had more. I'm not saying if he had more or not, because I mean, 12 years trying to get published, are you gonna, you probably might make a bit more. Maybe sit down and write a next part if you're gonna write one or something. Because like if you're thinking you're trying to get published for that long, you probably would look at it as like, oh, I can create a bit more, and maybe maybe they'll take it then because it's gonna run longer.
Yeah.
I don't know. He could have done. I just know where it stands right now. I'm gonna watch it, but if I'm not enjoying it, I'm just gonna be backing away from it. I'm like, right, it didn't happen because I did that with Supernatural. So yeah, I don't feel like it needs a season 2, but I'm definitely gonna be watching it anyway. So we'll see.
Fair enough. Right, I will pass the torch off to you again.
Oh, for the beginning, yeah, because it's the Xbox/Bethesda showcase, and extended showcase happened.
Yes, the extended showcase happened yesterday, which is Tuesday the 14th, and the initial showcase happened on the 12th, I believe. Anyway,
When exactly? But yeah, so Redfall was shown off further with a release window of 2023.
so that's like the Vampire Left 4 Dead one. That's a bit redundant, but that's essentially what it is.
There's so many games now that come out, and it's like, yeah, that's just Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, kind of. And Left 4 Dead
Like,
ended up doing it better.
You type in Redfall onto Google, and like the first article from Kotaku, it's like Bethesda really wants y'all to know that Redfall ain't Left 4 Dead. So yeah, there's a lot of people drawing that
I
comparison.
don't get it. There's nothing bad with it being compared to Left 4 Dead.
No,
I mean, if anything,
cares?
that's a good fucking thing.
yeah, because people will hear about it because like what games are like that.
Yeah.
People like I think Call of Duty and FIFA And all these other sports games that come out from EA Sports have proven that people like to play the same thing, just a new version of it over and over again.
Yeah.
So get it compared. Who cares? Run with it. It's fine. There's no such thing as originality anymore for a lot of these things. We have Hollow Knight. Silk Song shown off further will come to Game Pass day one, whenever that is.
Never played Hollow Knight. I heard good things, but yeah.
I had so many good things, but never played it either. So unfortunately, there's nothing much we can say on that. High on Life announced with a trailer and release window of October 2022 from the creator of Rick and Morty.
Yeah, and it definitely shows in that trailer.
Yeah.
Rick and Morty did not hit my funny bone. In fact, it hit my annoyance bone, if that exists. I did not get the humour of it, personally.
Yeah, I was going to be giving it shit.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks very Rick and Morty for anybody who's into that.
The game version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes then. Riot Games bringing a bunch of stuff to Game Pass this winter.
Yeah, a bunch of League of Legends. Well, League of Legends is coming to fucking Game Pass. Interestingly.
Okay. That's interesting, yeah, because I wouldn't expect of it to come to Game Pass.
No.
Even though it was in console, even. Fair enough. Alright then, next piece of news, because I completely lost my place. There we go. A new look at A Plague Tale Requiem with a release window of 2022 coming to Xbox, PC, and Game Pass. I didn't play the first Plague Tale, but I heard it was very good.
See, I feel like I've heard absolutely nothing about Plague Tale. But...
I did play the first bit of Plague Tale. I watched it. It was something like that. I didn't really like it. It seemed very uninspired. I was talking a lot of shit for it. It just felt very like... I don't want to dog anyone particularly, but I didn't like it as much because it just didn't really hit home. I didn't like the... I don't want to bag on anyone, but I didn't like the direction, or it was either the direction, or it was the performance from the cast members at the beginning.
Yeah.
In the first hour. It felt very... They had a story and they needed things to happen to push the story, and it was obvious that it was just pushing the story.
Right.
You know, and that's where I then stopped. So maybe it got better after that stage, but who knows? It did very well for them, so yeah. We'll see how that goes. But at least with the release date of window of 2022, that's not bad.
Yeah. 6
months then, max. Forza Motorsport revealed with a trailer and a release window of spring 2023. Which I don't play any Forza Motorsport.
No, same. Racing games in general are just not my bag.
I like racing games when they were done really well, but I've just never... I picked up Forza 4 because it was like free. And like I was saying, hey, didn't bother.
The best price.
Yeah, the best price free. New Microsoft Flight Simulator content shown off. The Pelican from Halo coming to it.
Yep.
Which is cool. Like, why not? Why not?
Yeah, fuck
like,
it.
And then it's owned by Microsoft, why the hell not? Overwatch 2 gets a new trailer and an early access release date of October 4th. PvP will be free to play. The new hero Junker Queen announced with trailer, and beta begins June 28th. Which is cool.
Yeah, I'll definitely play it. I enjoyed me some Overwatch at the start, and then just fell off at some point. I just need a new multiplayer game to sink my teeth into. The only one I really play now is Battlefront 2. And I feel like the community for that is slowly dwindling.
Dying. Yeah. They put support like a year ago, didn't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm definitely going to play Overwatch 2. It's free. This is the main thing as well, because they had a lot of the scandalous things that happened.
Yeah.
They will go into, there's no point going into them. Everyone's probably heard about it. If not, Google it. You'll find it. So making PvP free, like, that's fine. Everyone can start enjoying it, and see how it goes there.
Yeah.
You know, see how it goes from there. People will start doing it. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm definitely going to play that.
I find it interesting that they're making the PvP free. I feel like that's the main draw, even though they've said that they're adding PvE. Yeah.
They did PvE in Overwatch, the first Overwatch, and it's kind of meh. So, you just know they'll be buying all the loot boxes. They probably got enough where they could just go, we'll just give the boxes free. We have Ara History Untold announced, which I didn't see anything on.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the first thing about it.
Yeah. But that's there. If it sounds interesting, go look it up. The Elder Scrolls Online High Isle launches this week. I would rather that... I know it's a different company that makes it, and it's not just straight up Bethesda things, but I'd rather have more Elder Scrolls stuff than the new patches for Elder Scrolls Online. But I guess it's a big community, and they want to keep those lot interested. I played a
Yeah.
lot of Elder Scrolls Online at one point, so if I'm still into it, then I definitely would be like excited about that. Fallout 76: The Pit launches this September. I'm pretty sure I already got the damn update for it on the Xbox, like pre-update, because I just had to download like a 40 gig update earlier for it. That's something stupid. It
Is it?
gets to get a lot of shit does Fallout 76, but as someone who only played Fallout 3,
Yeah.
I liked Fallout 76. It wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad by any means. It was just decent.
I think the issue was like the whole monetization and it being broken and empty and whatnot at launch. Like, I'm sure it's better now, but
Yeah, that's what I heard
initially,
from a lot of people, where it was like there's only robots and there's
yeah,
no NPCs, there's no life to it. It's just walking around to get enemies and things. And like the idea was good at the start because you had actually the interesting thing, you can set up obviously your own bases and build and put things around. At least when I started playing, and the whole thing was then making trade with other people. So all the blueprints you were finding, all the parts and all these other resources, you could go and you can put them in your own vending machine at the door and set your prices, and people get them. Like people will go and actually do that. I had one guy who really wanted to destroy my house because I built it on a place where he wanted to build his house on. Now, when it comes to Fallout 76 is garbage PvP. It's the worst PvP I've ever seen in a game. That's why I'll speak bad about it, because gear and levels makes entirely all the difference.
yeah,
Because the point where you physically can't damage people. So we got to the point where it was like there's one guy who wanted my house to move. I'm moving my house. It took me a long time to build it there, and it's buggy as hell when you try to move your house. There's certain times when you load into a world and it's like, oh, by the way, your house like is already like been taken, like the area around it. So you're not guaranteed this area. So do you want to just remove your house, or do you want to go to another server? I lost my entire house. I said sure because it said I could go put it elsewhere, and it just never allowed the blueprint to get put because it turned
God,
out like I couldn't put it down because one of the blueprints that was in there, one of the recipes in there, was what my mate put down in my house for me that I didn't have the recipe to.
oh
So then it was
Jesus,
gone completely. So it's like, why not just remove that? Why not put everything else down and remove it? Because there was a pool table in one room, and it had no functionality whatsoever for that. So I'd stagger from the ground up in new areas, all this new stuff. And even if putting it down, it's laggy. It'd never work. Terrible. But anyway, he kept attacking me and like trying to wreck things, and he can't do much damage to things because we weren't engaged in PvP. Because I didn't attack him, but it was slowly damaging me. Because that's how it works. So eventually, I had to start attacking him because he wouldn't stop, and I couldn't leave. And then he started shooting the whole house up with a minigun. It was great. I just repaired it all for like no thing at all. But I think I just quit the game and then came back and it was gone. But yeah, it's They've released a couple of new stuff and they've added new people in now. I don't know how the pit's gonna go. I feel like it's with the player base how it is. It's very just now full of toxic people and all this other stuff.
yeah.
It might be well just worth just dropping it.
It's interesting that they're going back to the pit because that was one of the Fallout 3 expansions. It basically like once you got there, you were kind of locked in until you finished the DLC, essentially, and it was like this whole slave operation that's going on, and there's like a disease going around. These things called trogs, I think they were called. And it was quite a fun DLC. I enjoyed it anyway. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
interesting that they're taking it back.
yeah. I mean, probably just trying to keep bringing in money, isn't it? That's what a lot of it is.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to
Rehash
pull
it,
in
yeah.
some of the old audience.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Because if you keep bringing stuff out, people might look at the current state. It's the same thing as like No Man's Sky, isn't it? First game out, everyone dropped it because it was terrible, and now apparently it's a decent game. So we'll see. Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels DLC revealed with a release date of July 19th.
That's fun and dumb. I like that.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a while since you have a racing game that just doesn't take itself serious like that and just have fun
Yeah.
with it. So that'd be fun. New look at Arc 2 with a trailer and a release window of 2023. I didn't even... Was this Arc Survival Evolved?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah. That's my experience as well.
Yeah, I started and it's like, oh, would you look at that dinosaur went over my hut that I built. And you get spawn locked. It was like, great.
Very broken.
Yeah. So, well, good luck to them, I guess. Scorn has a new trailer and a release date of October 21st, coming to Game Pass. Now, if I look up score on the game, I've heard about this game. I heard the name. Is this the one that's like, yeah, this is the one that's really like inspired by Ridley Scott, isn't it? This was announced
I
ages ago.
could not tell you.
Yeah, so it's look it up and tell me this is not Alien. It's fully inspired by Ridley Scott's Alien. And it's got announced absolutely ages ago. I swear it got announced in 2018 or something.
Oh, this is the gross game. It's got a lot
Yeah,
of like fucking body horror shit. Yeah.
yeah. And like if you look at the images, it's just Ridley Scott stuff. So I'm like the gun was weird when you reload. It was like this weird little creature thing.
Yeah.
It did not look horror-ish. It didn't look like something that would scare me. It just looked something that like was just weirdly gross,
Yeah.
and that's about it. A lot of people are into that stuff, and they're going to be great. I'm personally not. If it's going to be scary, then I'll definitely play it. If it's actually going to be scary, because it did look interesting even a few years ago. So we'll see how that goes then. Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn revealed with a trailer and a release window of early 2023.
That kind of just looked like generic shovelware, honestly, to me.
Yeah,
But,
it's a shame.
I mean, I hope it's better than it looked.
Yeah, we'll see then. Hopefully it is. Sometimes you can't tell when it comes to gameplay videos and things.
Yeah.
You know, like it's different to play it or like because they're always very reserved in gameplay videos. You know, they take their time with things, so it could be better. Minecraft Legends revealed an action strategy game.
So we kind of briefly talked about this last week, where like there was a new Minecraft game that is potentially getting revealed. It's like an RTS. Well, it did get revealed, and yeah, it's like an action strategy, kind of in the vein of. Did you play a Brutal Legend?
No, Brutal Legend.
It's a game with Jack Black. It looks
Oh,
somewhat
okay.
similar to that.
Yeah, I seen a lot of gameplay on this, but I never played it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough then.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes then. I mean, Minecraft is going to probably sell well just by the name alone. Lightyear Frontier revealed with a trailer and a release window of spring 2023. I hear Lightyear, I hear Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. Kind of.
Is that not what it is?
I don't think so, no.
Lightyear Frontier. Is it not a Toy Story thing? Let me take a look. No, it is definitely not. Okay. Fair enough then. It looks kind of like a lot of survival games. I'm seeing cornfield and stuff, little houses, and it looks to be like procedure generated or put in by people. With little things going around farming and stuff, it looks like. Yeah, open world building game. I'm sure it might be fun. It might be fun. We'll see.
Hopefully.
That'd be interesting. Gunfire Reborn revealed with a trailer and a release window of October 2022.
That's soon.
Yeah. Now, to call a game Gunfire Reborn, you'd think that surely it's going to be amazing and it's a mobile game. Like, why is it like... It kind of reminds me of Borderlands. It's a cel-shaded style. Gunfire Reborn on Steam, actually, is what I was saying. Is this even out? No, because it's not out yet. Let me take a look at Steam. This is the one that's coming out later. No, this is one that came out a year ago. God knows then. I cannot find this game. Gunfire Reborn 2022. Oh, these are little characters. I don't know. Like, other people would find it. It's coming out later, I guess. Like, if you look up specifically the, the Xbox / Bethesda showcase and try to find it then, you'll find it then.
Yeah.
And take a look. The Last Case of Benedict Fox revealed with a trailer and a release window of spring 2023. That's a long name for a game.
Yeah. It looked interesting. Like, I see a lot of games that look interesting that I'll probably never play. It was very, like, eldritch horror looking.
Yeah, I'm looking at seeing, thinking Cthulhu the moment I see it.
Yeah.
But it looks to be a side-scroller, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's... I feel like side-scrollers came back with the black and white one. What was it? It was like you played this little tiny creature. No, you played a little like... What did you say it was?
Limbo.
Limbo, that was it. Limbo came out, and all of a sudden side-scrollers were like a big thing, and everyone wanted to make side-scrollers again. You know, that's when I saw them peak up anyway.
I feel like they never went away.
Yeah, maybe I just never saw them anymore.
seems like an easy thing to make on like a game creating software. So I feel like
Hmm.
there was constantly like a steady stream of them.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
they might have been. I just never noticed them.
Yeah.
But again, I wasn't active on the PC community at the time to see these sort of things. Next piece of news is As Dusk Falls, shown off with a gameplay trailer and a release date of July 19th. So next month.
Yeah,
What do we think
that
about
was a
it?
very
Yeah,
weird looking one. It's
yeah,
the art style, I guess you call it art style, kind of reminds me of the
it's
Dragon Ball Evolution game. Like, whenever a
really,
cinematic would happen in that game, it'd be like a, what looks like an illustration of the actor in their costume.
yeah,
And occasionally their pose would, like, shift, but they wouldn't really move or animate.
yeah. And I've seen that here. There's a lot of like actual sequences with like vehicles and stuff, and it's smooth.
Yeah.
But then for the most part, it's them just standing there still on things. It's
And it's got, like, a weird filter over it to make it look like painting.
yeah.
I don't know.
I get the idea. I guess they're wanting like it's good wallpaper material, but as a game, it will be one to only to watch. So I feel like it'll only go big because of YouTubers playing it and a couple of people like to just showcase their friend.
Mm,
I don't feel like people will be playing it to like fully get themselves or to see other people's reactions.
yeah.
So that's how it strikes me. Naraka Blade Point shown off with a trailer and a release date of June 23rd. Crossplay support with PC.
Yeah.
Which is good. Good, more games need to have crossplay. Pentiment revealed with a trailer and a release window of November 2022, which is by Obsidian, and it's coming to Game Pass.
All things coming to
Interesting.
Game Pass.
Yeah, which why not?
Yeah, fuck
Get
it.
good money from it. Grounded 1.0 launches in September.
Nice.
I feel like they need more time to make it good. Because I talked about Grounded before. It's not for me, but that's survival games in general. It's not against them. I guess as survival games go, it's probably quite good. But look at them, at least it's been a long time. I saw this. When the hell did Grounded LX even come out? This was ages ago. I saw YouTube videos of this. Like, I swear in 2016. Or something.
That
It was a
long.
long time ago. It feels like it, but it feels like it. I'm looking at it. Let me look. It was basically I Do Work. Basically, I Do Work. It was the one who did that. Grounded, Funny Moments. Okay, it was 2020. That feels like it was so much longer before that. But still good for them. It's good to at least be out of early access.
Yeah. I mean, some games fucking take the piss with not releasing in 1.0.
Yeah.
I harp on
It's
it all
mad.
the time, but 7 Days to Die has been in early access since I was
Yeah.
in high school.
We don't talk about that.
It's been
We
in
don't talk
alpha since I was in high school, in fact.
Yeah, that's not good.
Nope.
Ereban Shadow Legacy revealed with a gameplay trailer and a release window of 2023.
Looks like a stealth game where you have to, like, stick to shadows, like you get shadow powers or whatnot.
Yeah.
Could be interesting.
Which I guess there's local games with shadow powers and stuff, so yeah, we'll see how that is. Necromancer revealed for Diablo 4 with a class trailer.
Yes.
So we have the Necromancer class coming out for Diablo 4. That's cool.
Yeah.
That was always needed. Necromancers are great in all games.
Yeah. Apart from 5e.
But still, why are Necromancers not good in 5e?
Have you ever looked at the fucking...
I have not, but
What's
I want
it
to know why
called?
they're not good.
When we're done here, just look at the wizard subclass school of necromancy, and you'll see.
I just want the audience to hear why it's so bad. But fair enough. Maybe another time.
It's very
Maybe another
underwhelming. Let's just say
time.
the typical fantasy for a necromancer is an undead army.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get that. That's not gonna be a thing for you. You'll maybe get like 2 minions.
So no Ox Venture with the army of skeletons. Damn, that's a shame. Disappointing then. Alright, Sea of Thieves Season 7 coming. Customize your ship further and name your ship.
Yeah, they had quite a fun trailer for that where it was like a song announcing all the stuff that's coming.
Yeah.
It was daft, it was fun.
See, that's the one thing. If they bring in progression for all the ships and stuff, and I can make it where I can upgrade cannons, upgrade flintlock pistols, upgrade my sword, all this kind of stuff,
Yeah, but then
then
the
I'd.
PvP's unbalanced, isn't it? And then you've got like a Dark Souls
Mm,
situation.
yeah, but yeah, well, screw the people, let them all die.
You say
uh,
that now until you get until you're
oh
the
yeah,
one on the receiving end.
exactly. That's what play it anymore, and there you go. And people say I'm the problem. No, the game, and then I can go complain that the game's dead when I was asking for it. Isn't that usual internet people?
Yeah.
Ravenlock revealed with a trailer and a release window of 2023, which, yeah, I mean, like nice little graphics, nice little I can't remember my Coraline from the pictures I'm seeing. You know, the thing's kind of weird looking realism thing, but like made in like a toy box. Strange, but we'll see in that one. Uh, Cocoon revealed with a trailer and a release window of 2023.
That was a weird trailer. Some guy was birthed out of a very vaginal looking cocoon.
Oh no.
Who sort of
Okay.
plopped to the ground. It was a thing.
Hmm. Fair enough. Okay, then we have Wolong Fallen Destiny revealed with a trailer and a release window of early 2023. And Lubu at the end of the trailer? Question mark.
Have you ever played Dynasty Warriors?
Oh fuck yes, too much Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, so I guess this is a tie-in to that because Lu Bu appears at the end
Hmm.
of the trailer, so that's a thing.
Lubu is a force to be reckoned with and always has been. Always has. Any Dynasty Warriors games, everyone knows get Lubu on your team. Like Lubu comes, you run. I used to play when I was younger. I feel like I was like 16 or something. To do that. And this is the thing though. Like looking at the thing, it's made by Team Ninja, not by. Isn't it Capcom that doing Dynasty Warriors?
Um,
It's a different company. Team Ninja's the one who makes Ninja Gaiden and the Dead or Alive series, which I'm looking forward actually to a game that's coming out by Team Ninja that's like this. I'm excited for
yeah.
because I've been waiting for another Ninja Gaiden since 3 Razor's Edge, and I ain't appeared yet. I've been playing the Dead or Alives because I like playing as the ninjas, not playing as the characters. Play as Ayane, Ryu Hayabusa, Kasume, Hayate, all them. That's fine. Momoji, all that. But yeah. But yeah, maybe he's just like a huge figure in history because they do get characters from history, don't they? So it's probably just bringing him in for that purpose.
Maybe. I don't know. He looked like
It's similar enough, but it's
yeah.
big Japanese armor, big Chinese armor. Sorry, yeah. I said Japanese because the next one, like, don't kill me, commentators. I know the difference. I only said Japanese because I was reading the next piece of news when I said it, and that's Persona 3, 4, and 5, and the Personas are Japanese ones. Persona 3, 4, and 5 coming to Xbox and PC, which I've never played any of the Persona games, but heard many good things.
Yeah, I know my brother played through all of 5 and he said it was really good. A bit
Yeah,
fucked up in some places, but really good.
and that's what I've heard from everyone who plays it. They say it's good, and they're like, you know, it's finding someone who's even played it. Starfield gameplay shown, including character creation, planet exploration, skill system, weapon crafting, outposts, ship customization, and space travel, coming 2023.
I feel
What are
like
your
I
thoughts?
shit on a lot of games, but it doesn't look like much of a step up from Fallout 4, honestly. It,
Hmm.
they've touted that it's like, oh, there are 1,000 planets to explore, but I bet they're gonna just end up like the average cave on fucking Skyrim, where it'll be like a tiny thing to do on this
On
planet.
the island in the first place, yeah.
Yeah, and it it seems like it's a step below where No Man's Sky currently is. Like No Man's Sky has so many more planets, and the procedural generation has a way to make them interesting.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, apparently the like, I guess handcrafted, and is that going to make them interesting? If you've got 1,000 planets to handcraft, like, I don't know, man. It.
Yeah, just because that's the problem as well when people say it's handcrafted. It's like doesn't mean it's even good.
Mm,
It doesn't mean care and attention went into it. It means they can go and market it that way. And this is the problem that I find with because Todd Howard, yet again, is the one who always speaks up for Bethesda. To not say anything bad about the guy, he's a very good salesman because he oversold Skyrim.
yeah.
You know, and I've seen it so many times where he oversells games in that way that I'm like, it always puts me on edge then to see that because he's just a very good salesman. And he had me on Skyrim. And then after that, I'm like, I now see the ways of the salesman. Not against him personally, he's doing his job and he's doing a good job at it. But it puts me off to where I'm like, is it going to be like that? How much are they showing it and orchestrating it like it's going to be a lot? Where it's like, as you said, the dungeons in Skyrim where they're like, it's all got these puzzles. And look, you find this item in here that has the lock combination. And you're like, wow, that's so cool. It means I'm going to find these in the world and like find what lock they go correspond to. It's all going to be different. Nope. It's a dungeon. It's the same three combinations. You could probably guess them. You know, put the claw in. Then when you eventually find it, there you go. Done. There was nothing difficult about it. Like they orchestrated as if like all the like loads of items would have hidden things. You know, that's how it was sold. So I worry the same thing might happen with Starfield. I worry that everything we've seen here is everything we've seen, everything to it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's my concern with it. So it'd be cool to see what other people, because other people pick it up. Other people pick it up, and I can look at it then, and maybe get it then if it actually looks better. If it has more to it. Valheim is coming to PC Game Pass this fall, and Xbox Game Pass early 2023.
Good game. Recommended to survival fans.
Fair enough. Master Chief and the Arbiter are coming to Fall Guys. They're coming to Fall Guys. I want a little Master Chief helmet. It's free to play now, isn't it? Though Fall Guys.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I'll have to go and try to get a Master Chief skin. Stalker 2 developers, which is the GSC Game World, created a dev diary that goes into the ongoing war in Ukraine and how it has affected them. They also showed a video of the beginning of Stalker 2. H Lollipop Chainsaw celebrates its 10th anniversary. That's the second one. That's H, because I thought H was part of the thing. Yeah. So that's the different next news afterwards. Okay, so it also showed a video of the beginning of Stalker 2 then.
Yeah, I'm yet to watch it yet, because this basically came out like before we started. Just before we started, I should say.
Oh, okay.
So
Fair
yeah,
enough.
I'm yet to watch that, but
Yeah, we'll see then. Now the next one, Lollipop Chainsaw celebrates its 10-year anniversary.
yeah.
I know the game. I've
Yeah.
never even seen gameplay footage of it. So I don't know if you ever, but either way, it's good to them. 10-year anniversary. Well done. Gloomwood gets a gameplay trailer and an early access release date of August 16th. It's interesting.
Sorry about that. I got a knock at the door. A very loud
Fair
knock
enough.
at the door. I did want to say that it's interesting Lollipop Chainsaw got its 10-year anniversary. That's kind of what kickstarted the infamous Jessica Negri off.
Yeah, like I genuinely thought that the game was made from her cosplay. Even when I first saw it, because that's what kicked off. Yeah.
Anyway, as you were saying about Gloomwood.
Yeah, Gloomwood. If I go back to say again, Gloomwood gets a gameplay trailer and an early access release date of August 16th.
It's a very interesting looking game. That I quite like the art style of it.
It's very.
I think it's supposed to be like a. Did you ever play Thief? We talked about it a few weeks ago, I think.
The remake or the original?
The original.
No, but I watched gameplay footage of it.
I think it's meant to be like in a similar vein of like a kind of stealth action, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah.
Only you straight up getting like guns and shit in this.
Yeah, so you gotta jump over the sword and just stab a person.
Yeah.
It looks like they took fall damage doing so. But yeah, early access for them. Fair enough to them if they like. Hopefully it goes well because it's hard to release a game nowadays with graphics like this.
Yeah.
You know, so if it does success well, it does well, then great. It's interesting we even talked about on the Xbox show because of that. Maybe they invested into it.
Oh no,
Uh,
we're away from the Xbox show now.
yeah, is it? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Gears H is different parts. Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Yes, okay.
I know it's a
The,
confusing setup, but we get by.
yeah, it's on the Google Doc. Like, if it had extra space, I might have noticed.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, the Stalker 2 was the end of the Xbox um, and Bethesda showcase.
Yes, I will.
Yes.
I will take it over from here.
Okay,
Give you
yeah.
a break. Justin Lin, the director of the Fast and Furious franchise, I believe every film in it, is directing a One Punch Man live action movie. It's gonna be bad, that's all we have to say about it.
It's gonna be bad. I love the series. I want to watch the second series a bit,
Yeah.
but the second season. But yeah, it's. I've seen good like live action like from cosplayers. They've made the videos and stuff like with Saitama and the cyborg who hangs out with him, who I can't remember.
Genos.
Yes, Junos. And it's when he goes to train with him in the mountain, and he's like, "Give me everything you got," you know. And it's like it's a spoiler for One Punch Man, but it's not really much of a spoiler. It's a mild spoiler. Yeah, he turns in like gives him the one punch and like all analyzes. It's like death is imminent. You will die from this strike. He just stops right before him.
Yeah.
Mountain gets his stride. It's like let's go for lunch, and like seeing that like done as live action was like really fun. So it's an anime live action. I've yet to find one that is good.
Yep.
So
It's kind of a long and short of it, really.
no hope for it at all. Yeah.
Nah. The Capcom showcase happened as well.
Mm.
All sorts of fucking showcases kicking off. We got some Monster Hunter Rise details. That is the... Fuck, I didn't actually put in the name of the fucking... I think it's called Sun something. Monster Hunter Rise. Is it Sunbreak?
I don't know. Hold on.
Yes, Sunbreak. Got some
Yeah.
new details. The release date is the 30th of June. There's going to be a demo. In fact, there is a demo right now. And 13 gigabytes of space is required for it. They just put the balls out with that one. I always appreciate when a company will like tell you, oh yeah, it's going to be this big.
Yeah.
It's always a nice thing.
Yeah, because size matters.
Yes, exactly. So does the curvature. Exo Primal got a new gameplay trailer with a release window of 2023. It's having a closed network test, but they haven't given a date for that yet, as of this recording. Exo Primal it looks interesting. It kind of it's playing into the whole again Left 4 Dead thing with like waves of dinosaurs instead this time.
Yeah.
And there seems to be some sort of PvP element as well. Like you're racing, two teams racing toward an objective while having to deal with like an onslaught of dinosaurs and occasionally having to team up. I don't know, it could be interesting, but it's no Dino Crisis, so I don't care.
We'll see how it is. See, I remember seeing it and it reminded me of EDF because of all the waves and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't really see that personally, but yeah. I hope it's good. And the most important news out of the Capcom showcase is Resident Evil Gold Edition has been announced. This includes the I think it was called the Winters expansion, the Winters expansion, which includes a DLC where you get to play as spoilers for Resident Evil Village.
Yeah.
You get to play as Rose, who is the daughter of the protagonist of Village and Resident Evil 7. I didn't really get a sense as to what that DLC entails. Like, there seemed to be a tiny bit of combat shown off in the trailer, and a lot of, like, revealing text on walls. So I kind of wonder if it's going to be primarily like a puzzle thing.
Yeah, it's the Shadow of Rose is the name of the DLC.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like she's going through, and it seems to be more about Rose. I'm going to spoilers in the village. It seems to be more about Rose, I guess, going back to find out more about. Oh, it said in the trailer, specifically on the actual showcase itself. The Cooking Show specifically said it was about Rose going and getting rid of her powers and trying to become normal.
Yeah, the thing is, the village got blown the fuck up.
Mm,
If you remember, like
did here?
when Ethan blew up the Mega Mycete, the village got fucking blown sky high. So
Yeah,
I kind of wonder if she goes into like an almost Stranger Things upside down sort of thing to get.
yeah. She goes. There's a bit of the Mega Might Seat left over in a jar. If you remember in the actual trailer that she touches, and she goes into the mind of the Mega Might Seat. Oh, that's what they say in the actual showcase.
Ah,
The
right.
presenter
I
said it.
must have missed that one.
The presenter said that she goes into the mind of the Mega Might Seat. And she's it's like learn how to give her powers or something.
Ah,
It's it seems more like then at that point there's going to be very low combat and it's going to be all puzzle. Unless she has some crazy powers of like telekinesis, which then is going to be like kind of OP, I guess.
it
It kind
did.
of depends.
It did kind of look like the merchant from Resident Evil Village is going to be like the antagonist.
Yeah, it did, like at least one of them.
Yeah,
There may be more, but yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's could be interesting. I hope we learn more about the merchant. He's a very
Mm.
like mysterious figure. Obviously, like they said, more was planned for him. Like he was meant to be one of the original like holders of Rose, whatever they were called, the Lords, I think they called them.
Yeah,
But that ended up getting scrapped. So yeah. And what else it comes with is a additional mercenaries characters. You get to play as the Big
There's
Mama herself. You get to play as Chris and Heisenberg, which
yep.
could be interesting. I By the time I had finished with mercenaries, I was done with mercenaries.
Yeah,
It was very annoying to get like the double S ranks to get all the trophies and whatnot, which I didn't have to do, granted, but I did have to do it.
Mm.
Let's be real. It's also coming with a third-person mode, which will be fun, and it has a release date of the 28th of October. And additionally, Reverse, which was the multiplayer mode that was supposed to come out alongside Village, is finally coming out on the same day of October the 28th. So yeah, that's exciting news. I'm absolutely down to play some more Resident Evil Village when that comes out.
yeah.
And go through it another fucking half dozen times in third person mode. Because why not?
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Netflix is developing a Squid Games reality TV show where 456 participants fight for the chance to win $4.5 million.
Yep. I will be entering. I'm throwing my head into the arena. I will be filling the application in the next couple of days. Genuinely will be. I loved Squid Games. I thought it was an absolutely great show. As we talked about earlier, because it's getting season 2. So, yeah, I was disappointed even to miss out on Mr. Beast's Squid Game that he did. When he remade all the Squid Game, I was actually disappointed. I was like, oh, do I even watch the video? Because I generally didn't watch the video because I wasn't part of it. So, for a moment, so I watched it took about 15 minutes to get over it. But
Was
yeah,
Squid Games Korean?
yes.
What would you do if, like, you got in, but when you got there, it was just, like, all in Korean? Like, they told you what the challenge was in Korean.
I'd love it. I'd love it. See now, because now I have to sit there and get an app on my phone to try and like learn Korean in the meantime. So can maybe read something.
Get some Duolingo going on.
Well, I don't like Duolingo anymore, but one of the
Fair
apps
enough.
they've changed. It's changed. Duolingo's not the same anymore.
Oh, okay.
I tried to do it for Japanese, but that's a different topic. Like this was about a month ago, and I got rid of it. All right then.
The future of Assassin's Creed will be revealed this September during a special event. Okay.
Hopefully, it means that they're going back to good Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, but probably not.
No, probably not.
Something called Internet Explorer died today. I've never
What's
heard
that?
of it. I have no idea. It's clearly not important though.
The news must have taken a long time to get to us, just like the loading times to load web pages.
IGN interviewed Todd Howard for a little more insight into what Bethesda has in store, and we have some brief details. He said Starfield has more handcrafted content than any Bethesda game. Something to look forward to. New Atlantis, which is the city that they showed off in the gameplay for Starfield, is the biggest city Bethesda has ever made. I feel like that's not really saying much. I feel like none of their cities are particularly big. Maybe it's just me.
No, they've never had. Like, I feel like the biggest city they ever made was Vivek in Morrowind, because there were 3 different
Fucking
plateaus.
worst city ever.
Yeah, it was like 3 different plateaus with 3 different floors and an entire indoor section that was just ridiculously long.
Yeah.
So, I think that was the biggest, really.
There's no seamless flying. I don't quite know what that means. I assume that's like when you're reaching orbit to get to space. I guess it's maybe like a loading screen instead.
Yeah, and that's kind of disappointing in ways. Because I was sat here thinking, reading this, did they mean to write seamless flying? Because I'm like, why would you advertise this? I guess it's not an advertisement; they're just talking about it. But yeah, it's a shame there's no seamless flying because, you know what? It'll be fine because there'll be mods for it. In the same way that there was mods for Skyrim to have seamless loading, to seamless to go through the cities. So we'll look forward to the mods then at least on it. But that's a shame that is no seamless flying.
That's basically the fucking Bethesda motto, isn't it? We release games and modders fix them. Modders
improve upon them.
well.
Yeah.
The Elder Scrolls 6 is in pre-production.
Here I thought it already was.
Yeah. Fallout 5 is the next game after the Elder Scrolls 6.
How many games in the meantime before we even get that?
Yeah.
If it's in pre-production, there's not going to release anything for... This is pre-production? Not going to release anything for 4 years? Like, come on. They'll release more stuff. So that's a shame. But still, yeah, we'll see how that goes then.
Yeah. Game Informer interviewed Tetsuya Nomura about Kingdom Hearts 4. Apparently the story focuses on Sora's disappearance, and it will include Disney worlds still. Quadratum, I guess is how you pronounce that. Seems to serve as a hub world. Yeah, maybe that. And apparently it's hard to include more Final Fantasy characters due to the amount of original Kingdom Hearts characters.
Which is fair. There's so many everywhere. And then they've got to have more Disney worlds now that are out from Disney movies, so they've got to get those characters in as well. You know, so I can see why.
I've never been a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, but its fans seem dedicated.
Yeah, I've never watched it, played any or watched any gameplay. So, the same. But then 12 games or something mad. There's a lot.
Yeah, they get weird with the names as well. There's fucking 1.5 and all this shit with subtitles and it's weird. And that wraps up the news. Finally, Jesus Christ, that was a lot of news. Oh my god.
It was.
It's not going to be fun to fucking timestamp.
But now
takes us on to new/upcoming games/movie/TV shows. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. You get the idea by now. I know I said before to treat every episode like it's somebody's first, but I don't care about that anymore. So, we have Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 5, which is coming on June the 15th. So that is...
Today, on the time of recording.
Today, as we are recording, so that'll be way out for you guys, and I'm sure you've already seen it, and I'm sure it was consistent. We've got...
the way you said consistent was great.
We've got Neon White coming out tomorrow, as of recording, on June the 16th. Looks like an interesting anime game.
Yep.
I enjoy some anime bullshit, so...
Aye.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is coming out tomorrow as well, on June the 16th. As I say, I'll probably try that at some point. Probably not before the next podcast, but at some point, and I will no doubt give my review. We have episode 5 of season 3 of The Boys, which is coming... the day of airing for this podcast on June the 17th, providing everything goes correctly. Which I'm looking forward to that. Apparently this is meant to be a musical episode, which those are always fun in TV shows. So that should be, that should be a laugh.
Hopefully it's a laugh because I've never liked music, like the musical episodes.
Oh, well, you're a
I'm bitter and old. Okay.
Naraka Blade Point, which we talked about briefly before, is coming out June the 23rd, and Cuphead in the Delicious Last Course is coming out on June the 30th.
Mm,
But I probably won't play it until Christmas, as I said before. Yeah, that
nice.
is almost a podcast. We are now
Almost
moving on to
podcast.
Player's
The
Choice.
player's choice. Which is
Right.
winner stays on for the roll. So it's you rolling again, Nick.
Yes, so for anybody new to the podcast, I know what I said before, but now I'm going back to pretending that this is somebody's first episode.
No, it's convenient.
Yeah, exactly. So this is where we roll a d3, a three-sided die, because that's possible, and whichever number it lands on that corresponds to one of us, that person will select a game, anime, TV show, movie, whatever the hell, for us all to consume up to wherever they think is fitting. So, like for World of Warcraft, I wanted us to get to a certain level and see a dungeon, which we did. For Vampire Survivors, there's no like clear point because getting to 30 minutes can take for fucking ever. So yeah, you all know the premise. Now let's roll that.
Roll the dice.
D3. Roll D3. So, Martin, you are number 1, I am number 2, and Sam, who is not present, is number 3, but we have his choice. Number 1!
I win! I win! Fuck you all! I finally won. How many episodes is this? 9? And it feels like 100. And Sam wasn't here for my victory.
Nope.
Let's go! I'm writing this. Sam's actually writing in the thing now. He says, fuck me, it finally got mine. It did. It did. So, I wanted to win initially back ages ago when my choice was added into the Gaming Hall of Fame because I felt it would have been appropriate. But fate had it another way. And so my choice is my favorite game of all time. This one has a lot of nostalgia hit to it because growing up playing it, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's still something now that, yeah, there's obviously going to be some broken stuff because it's Nintendo 64. But it's still something now that I would recommend people have to play at some point, and I will happily say even watch people if I can play it even. And that is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Yes.
It's usually voted as the best one in the entire series that they've made. The only ones I've ever seen even like rate anywhere near things was like Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Breath of the Wild. And there's still people would rate that. Obviously, people would say Majora's Mask, and some people that's their favorite. But Ocarina of Time is a great one to start out because that's the part in. Now they bullshitted it. I'm gonna keep my Zelda rant short. Sorry, not long. I'm gonna keep it short because I could go on a long time. But they made obviously loads of Legends of games, like 15 or something, and then people were like always theorizing about the timeline. And I was even in college talking to people who would have sheets of paper in college, and they're looking at the timeline of all the games, stuff, trying to work it out. And the splittist was the most common one, and that's the one they went with. So generally, what it means is the timeline split into different parts when Ocarina of Time took place. To make it fair, because I don't know how long you will keep playing it for, like after if you would even want to, because it's an old game, obviously, you have to get to Hyrule, the actual the Hyrule Castle, into the actual marketplace in the town.
Hyrule Castle, okay.
Yeah. So look at these because there's a Hyrule Castle town. You know, it's the town. You don't have to go into the actual castle itself because it's another separate part. But it basically means do the beginning area, and you go into the bigger world, and then you can go through there. And just bearing in mind that the game was made in 1998.
Don't worry, you don't have to tell me. I still play very old games.
Yeah.
Very old, very janky games.
There's this one, and Dragon Age Origins are the only game I've completed multiple times, like over and over again.
Fair enough.
So it's definitely worth, unless they get like achievements, obviously, but there's like small campaigns like the Resident Evil games. They don't really count. It's the only one I've ever properly sat and completed everything on multiple times. It's finally mine, and you finally get to play it. It's my favorite game of all time. It's the one I have the giant back tattoo of.
He's been waiting to pull the trigger on this for ages.
Exactly. And now I need to go Squid Game next. But for now, we get small. Any victory, Ocarina of Time is what it will be.
Fair enough. And yeah, that is a podcast. I'm not going to do Sam's outro. That's his
I'll
thing.
do it.
Okay, fine, you can do it then.
I'll do it. Yeah. Well, that's the podcast. In the meantime, I'm going to get myself a drink. Bucky!